Standing by, Shreveport City Councilman Grayson Boucher. Hey, Mr. Grayson, welcome back to Kiel. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Robert and Aaron. I'm good. I'm tired.
Grayson said something to me, and I think it was about a month or maybe 6 weeks after you were elected, and I think you speak for all city council people, but specifically newly elected ones. And I think it was you who said, with this city council thing, I said, how's it going? You said, my wife reminded me, hey, Grayson, you got a real job too. Remember that?
Bingo. And yesterday it was really funny. I thought about going to the mayor's press conference, and I was like, I could do that, or I could go actually drive up to Homer, take a picture of a house, and make some money. So when the announcement came across, I got y'all's news blast. I was between Spring Hill and Plain Dealing, and I was thinking, you know what, this is a better spot for me to be right now. Anyway, no, I'm just joking. But no, it does take a little bit of sacrifice when it comes to your business. But public service is where it's at. I feel comfortable with it.
Speaking of the mayor's press conference, news conference yesterday, were you surprised, A, that he had one, B, that he nominated Ben Raymond?
I was not really surprised at the nomination. I felt like Ben has been, he's been the chief for almost 12 months now, and I feel like that he's done a pretty good job. I kind of thought that I thought the system, kind of like I heard the council lady earlier say that the system may have been flawed a little bit, and I agree. But ultimately, and I want to I tell everybody this advisory committee was nothing more than an advisory committee. It's 100% up to the mayor. He is the appointing authority, and I think he made the decision that he felt was best.
Should he have not told us on August 1st that he's going to take the names they submit? The chance that he would deviate from their list would be pretty rare unless something crazy happened. Should he have not said that?
In hindsight, probably so, but I'm not in the mayor's head. I personally, I told somebody yesterday on another radio show that if I'd have been mayor, I'd have handled the whole situation differently. But I'm not the mayor.
How so? How would you have done it?
I believe that I would have consulted people myself and made that decision based upon what my perception was, and not a committee. I think in theory, what he was trying to do is transparent, but it ended up kind of turning into a debacle.
Okay, today. Do you think Mr. Bradford gets his concerns ironed out and we move forward with this?
I hope so. I'm going to use an analogy. My good friend, the council lady, likes analogies, so I'm about to use one for it. I was a interim fire chief for about a month and a half, and the best way I can describe that, over my 11-year career as a fire chief, that first month was pretty much like I was test driving a car that wasn't mine. It was really cool, and I got to go fast here and there, but I was really too scared to take it places or do things that I really wanted to do because I wasn't the permanent chief. It wasn't my car. So now I really feel like we're going to see hopefully some good changes in the police department. I mean, it's almost like the police department has been on automatic pilot for the last 12 months without a leader. I mean, we've got 13 people, I think what KTBS said, that are on administrative leave. Mm-hmm. There's definitely some issues going on in the police department, and I think now that Ben is the permanent chief, I think he'll need to get in there and get to work. And now he's the permanent chief.
What were Mr. Bradford's concerns? Has he shared anything with you about that?
I'm not sure. No, but I also, I was asked yesterday, did I feel like his concerns were valid? And absolutely. If there's a council member, this is an important decision. And if there's a council member that has questions about confirming someone, I believe that he should be given the right to ask him those questions. So regardless of what his questions or concerns were, I feel like that, giving Councilman Bradford or any other council member enough time to make a good decision on such an important decision for our city, I think it's very valid.
I know we asked Lavette this last hour, Ms. Fuller, and she says, I don't want to speculate, so I'm going to ask you to speculate, and you can certainly say, I don't want to speculate if you are so inclined. Do you think if it weren't for Jerry Bowman acting as mayor pro tem and adding Chief Raymond to the list of finalists, do you get the impression, do you think that Mayor Perkins would have done it on his own?
I believe so. I do remember in his interview with you, him saying that, unless there was, what was it, extraordinary circumstances or something like that. So I think he's always reserved the right to do that. I mean, legally, he's always had the right to do that. He put the restrictions on himself with this committee, but he is the appointing authority. In fact, the confirmation by the city council is ceremonial. I mean, it has to be done, but it's ceremonial. I would, unless he just decided to go and get somebody that was unqualified, I could not see going against what the mayor suggests, because, look, he's the one that's interviewed him. He's the one that spent the one-on-one time, and ultimately it's his decision. He was elected to do that.
One last question, our last minute. When the list came out from that committee of the 3 names, I really felt like it was a gut punch to Ben Raymond. And it had to be devastating for him. What do you say to him today?
I think it was a gut punch to a lot of us. This guy's been working hard. He's been, like I said, he's driving a car that really wasn't his, but he's been doing a good job. I say to Chief Raymond, look, you are the chief now. It's all, the game clock has started over. It's almost like we're in regulation play before we were in preseason. You're in regulation play now. Let's get going. I mean, we've definitely got some issues with our police department. We've got issues with our city, and I think it's time for him to get to work, and I think he'll do a good job. So, and also another thing to keep in mind, he has a 1-year working test period to civil service. So this is almost, this is the test period for him.